Looking at the divorce papers handed to him, Robert burst into laughter. Sounds great. I'll grant you the divorce. With no income, you'll come crawling back to me in no time. Haha. Who's the one without a source of income now, huh? My knave husband believes I'm leaving him without a plan. Little does he know about the trap I've laid out. I'm Emma. I've lived with my husband Robert amidst his mother and 2 older sisters. Robert has always had that youngest sibling charm, accustomed to being pampered. As the eldest child myself, I'm used to taking charge. At work, I'm respected as a leader, while Robert, my same age, increasingly leans on me. Emma, my computer froze. Oh no, did you save your work? I forgot. Seriously, let me help you redo it. Hand me your hard copies. Our dynamic duo with me supporting the ever-errant Robert became well known around the office. Over time, Robert started confiding in me about personal matters, and our time together after work grew. As the nurturing elder sister type, I didn't mind being his pillar of support. One day, Robert asked me out. I thought, why not continue like this? So, I agreed and we started dating. Robert was thrilled to publicly acknowledge our relationship, and the company gave their blessing. Our dating continued until we married. After we exchanged vows, I chose to step back from my career to be a supportive wife. As someone who tends to overwork, I also welcomed the break. I figured dedicating myself to my husband post-marriage wouldn't hurt. Several years passed, and Robert steadily ascended the corporate ladder. One day, a close colleague invited me out for drinks. As we caught up happily, my colleague, visibly relieved, remarked, "It's good to see you haven't changed, Emma." "Huh? Why?" "Well, from what Robert's been saying, you know." Robert's colleagues exchanged glances. "Hey, what has Robert been saying about me?" "We've heard that Emma isn't very good at managing household chores and that Robert supports you in everything." "No, that's not true." "It is. He often says, I'm the breadwinner. Emma wouldn't survive without me." "Yeah, we were surprised too." "Our Emma, really?" It seems Emma helping him at work was just Robert's way of making it seem that way. According to Robert, he's actually more competent at work. He even mentioned that Emma quit her job due to feelings of inadequacy. Their words left me truly shocked. Robert, who had been spoiled by his mother and sisters until we married, couldn't boil water, let alone handle household chores like cleaning, laundry, or daily cooking. I took care of everything at home, yet he's been spreading completely false stories to everyone. Not only that, he's been circulating absurd rumors about why I became a full-time housewife, claiming he's better at work, and that made me feel inadequate, so I quit. It's absurd. Why would he spread such lies? I was so shaken that I left the party early. As soon as I got home, I confronted him. "Robert, are you bad-mouthing me at work?" "Stop it." Robert responded casually. "It just came up in conversation. Wouldn't you be proud if people thought your husband was capable? You haven't said anything you shouldn't have you?" "I haven't said anything. Actually, I was too shocked today to respond properly. I'll set things straight from now on." "Don't get worked up over something trivial. You're being childish." "Haha." "Stop stressing," Robert says, "but it's not pleasant to hear gossip behind your back." Robert doesn't seem to understand, but if I clearly tell him to stop, he might not spread such rumors again. However, I later discovered my hope was naive. According to a colleague, the situation seemed to worsen. Since then, Robert has intensified his efforts to portray me as an incompetent housewife, perhaps to prevent me from exposing his falsehoods. He spread even more damaging rumors about me, insisting I'm a lazy wife who neglects household duties while loudly boasting about supporting me financially. Can you elaborate on this? I called my colleagues to get more details. Well, after that, Robert started bad-mouthing you to our boss as well. Even to the boss. Robert claimed you were so embarrassed that you begged him, "Please keep our private life out of the office." You never said that, did you, Emma? Of course not. I vehemently denied it. He seemed to anticipate that whatever I might tell our colleagues would only sound like an excuse. I told everyone the truth, that I manage all the household chores and Robert can't handle anything at home. Besides, he often seeks my advice when he faces work challenges. When he admitted he didn't know how to prepare a proposal, I even helped him draft documents. Afterward, he left everything to me because it was quicker if I did it all. As I expected, my former colleagues, who knew me well, immediately believed me. Reluctantly, they continued. "I debated whether to share this with you, Emma. According to them, Since his promotion, Robert has been using his position to invite young women from work to dinners. There's one in particular he seems to favor, and she doesn't seem to mind. Lately, they've been seen together late at night quite often. Actually, I've seen it myself, Robert arm in arm with her having an intimate dinner at a restaurant. Indeed, Robert had been returning home late at night frequently lately, citing overtime work. He'd even leave early on weekends, claiming business trips. I see, thank you for letting me know. Then it all became clear. Robert wasn't just undermining me at the office, he was also cheating on me. Not only was he spreading rumors about me, but he was also seeing another woman in secret. I can't forgive him. I can no longer bring myself to support such a person. I kept my anger and determination to myself and chose to maintain the facade of our normal life. Unaware of everything, he continued to seek my guidance on work matters as usual. Hey Emma, the progress on our next project isn't looking good. If this fails, it could be detrimental to the company. Where do you think we need to adjust our schedule? Oh, and by the way, we need an urgent proposal ready by tomorrow. I'm tied up with something else. Despite his circumstances, I calmly advised him and prepared the proposal. During this period, Robert frequently worked late, citing, I have to stay back, and often didn't return home until morning. It was only after completing the project preparations that I handed him the divorce papers. I can't continue like this with you. Let's end things, I said firmly. Upon hearing this, Robert burst into laughter. Divorce? What can you do without any income? I'll find work, but who would hire you after years of being a stay-at-home wife? Best you could hope for is a part-time job for some extra cash. Still, I no longer want to be with someone as unfaithful as you. I can't stand it. When I mentioned his infidelity, he was taken aback and raised his voice. What? An affair? You're just imagining things, aren't you? Do you have any proof? I stayed silent, and Robert left with a sense of triumph. You're jumping to conclusions without any proof. Since you're the one who brought up the divorce, you should be the one to leave this house. With that, he forcefully took the divorce papers and expelled me from our home. However, I had already prepared my bags to leave. I picked them up and walked out. As I left, I heard Robert's mocking words, You, with no place to stay, will be back soon enough. They'll come begging later. Yet it was Robert who came begging the next day. Emma, what's going on? The document you gave me the other day was a mess. The schedule I revised based on your suggestions had so many gaps. Even after discovering his infidelity, I continued to create documents for him, but with a twist in their content. I directed him to develop schedules based on impractical assumptions and intentionally made flawed suggestions for his proposals. The result was a chaotic mix of poorly planned schedules and flawed proposals, which Robert blindly submitted without review. Predictably, the project ended in a disastrous failure, causing Robert's reputation within the company to plummet. With trust eroded, Robert was demoted. Dissatisfied with his new role, he blamed his wife, claiming she had influenced his decisions. This defense backfired, further damaging Robert's standing. The company viewed his dependence on his wife for business decisions as a serious issue, overshadowing the project's failure itself. I noticed a significant improvement in your work efficiency after your marriage. Have you been consulting your wife all along? Like this incident? No, this was the only time my wife assisted me. Robert realized there was no use defending himself anymore. His incompetence, his reliance on others for everything, had become apparent to his boss. He tried to contact me multiple times afterward, but I ignored all of his attempts because they were simply bothersome. Then one day, a lawyer claiming to represent him visited me. Robert says you're always welcome to return. Even now Robert believes I might come back, and you're welcome to return? How arrogant and absurd. Please convey to Robert that I have no intention of returning. If he's concerned about my well-being, he shouldn't be. I'm prepared to build a new life for myself. I believe it's Robert who's struggling without any income now, I remarked as I dismissed the lawyer. A few days later, my former boss contacted me upon learning that all of Robert's recent work had actually been my own achievement. Emma, would you consider returning to us? Return? But I've been out of the workforce for some time now. You haven't been out of work at all. You've been handling your husband's responsibilities all along. I understand if working in the same place as your ex-husband might be uncomfortable. Following this, my boss negotiated with higher management to ensure Robert and I wouldn't be in the same department. A few days later, he called me again. Emma, you don't need to worry about anything anymore. It turned out that Robert was the one who got transferred, not me. Since the incident, he had been viewed as a liability, and there were already discussions about moving him. He was considered unsuitable for such a critical department in the company. A week after I turned away the lawyer, Robert called me. Emma, please help me. They've transferred me. It seems they informed him, but I haven't heard anything. Where to? In response to my question, he exclaimed, to some remote place I've never even heard of. A department where I won't handle any crucial tasks for the company. There's no chance of promotion. It feels like I've been banished. Well, isn't this situation perfect for you? You can't make decisions independently, you delegate everything without checking, and there's no way they'd place someone like you in a critical role. We've been a team up until now. From now on, continue supporting me. You're the one who made me lose my will to support you. If you hadn't betrayed me, I would have continued backing you behind the scenes. I did betray you. It wasn't serious with her. Whether it was serious or not doesn't matter. What I can't forgive is that you deceived me. Once trust is lost, it's irreparable. Please don't leave me. I can't live without you. At this point, Robert's words failed to sway me. That may be true. I can't imagine you, unable to manage your work or the household, surviving alone. You've always relied on others, and now it's catching up with you. What happened to the reliable Emma who always used to support me? The moment you cheated, lied to your colleagues, pretended to be competent at work, and fooled around with female coworkers behind my back, you lost that support. You brought this upon yourself. I hung up on Robert in the heat of the moment and blocked his number. There was no satisfaction in being relied upon by him now. Afterward, I proceeded with the divorce. I made sure to secure appropriate alimony from both him and his mistress. Only a few trusted friends know my whereabouts since leaving the house. Blocking his calls spared me from Robert's harassment. Now, I occupy the position he once held, thanks to my familiarity with the department's operations gained through assisting him. Even after leaving, I kept informed and resumed working diligently as I did before marriage. Just as I was beginning to move on, Robert's mother and sister appeared. You must be Emma, right? They glared at me. You deceived my son and took his position. I never approved of you from the beginning, but I didn't realize you were this deceitful. Robert's habit of dishonesty hasn't changed, has it? My mother-in-law's accusation prompted my own mother to respond, her face flushing red. What did you just say? Are you accusing our Robert of lying? Now I see it clearly. It's because all of you unquestioningly believe everything Robert says that he's ended up like this. What do you mean by like this? Ask anyone at his workplace and you'll find out. Robert can't manage anything on his own. He's skilled only at being coddled and relying on others. He even expects people to cater to him. Facing my in-laws who were trying to pressure me, I remained composed as I spoke. And that's not all. Behind everyone's back, he slandered those who supported him and fabricated a persona of greatness. I didn't take Robert's position from him. Rather, his true colors were revealed, leading to his transfer. Even so, isn't it heartless for you, his wife, to abandon him? You should direct those words to Robert himself. While he was having an affair, he had me cover for him at work. Did he mention any of this to you? What? What are you talking about? Just as I suspected, he only tells you what suits him. That's typical of Robert, even now. By the way, if he has grievances, why doesn't Robert come here himself? Could it be because he doesn't want to face his colleagues after lying, cheating with a coworker, which all came to light, and getting transferred? I doubt he'd dare show his face now, would he? A fair transfer? What's that supposed to mean? I suggest you not take everything he says at face value. I'll take my leave now. Realizing the truth in my words, my in-laws left awkwardly and quietly. With Robert having played his final cards through his mother and sister, there's likely nothing more he can do. Whether he chooses to reflect on himself while living in a remote place or continues his old ways is no concern of mine. I'll simply focus on living my own life. I'm truly grateful to the boss who recognized my abilities and